What is up, good people? Jungle Inc. here. Hope you're doing well. Market's a little bit flat. The world is on edge waiting for that Bitcoin ETF approval to be announced because we pretty much know it's a done deal at this point in time. I don't think there's a lot to be nervous or anxious about. It's gonna happen. We see rumor mill goes into overdrive for a spot Bitcoin ETF approval on Friday. Several tweets on CryptoX have fueled hopes that we were going to get that announcement today. We saw a lot of influencers say it's done, it's going to be announced on Friday. But remember, Crypto Lawman, he told us, you know what, the comment period's still open. And they're going to let that run its course. And then once it's over, we probably get some sort of announcement to the market next week. Now, the actual issuers, the people putting these ETFs up, they might get the word that, hey, you're approved, but the market probably wouldn't until sometime next week. Not a big deal here. We've been waiting forever. We can wait another, few days here. We see this article, Bitcoin price centers at 43,000 as nervous Bitcoin traders await ETF news. And in my mind, if you're a trader, maybe that's important. But if you're a long-term investor, you just want to get by this, get on the other end of it, and then we can start building up demand for these products. And demand will come in time. That's the thing. This takes us into the new era, and it just matters that we get there. Not the exact time that it's announced. Again, unless you're trying to pull off a quick trade here. Eleanor Tarrant giving us some pretty detailed information here. News regarding Bitcoin spot ETFs. We're expecting some last-minute amendments right here, as well as some 11th hour phone calls concerning comments on the S1s and possible launch date. So they're working hard to get this thing across the finish line. It's going to happen, but man, are they busy. There's some last-minute changes that need to be done here. And the timeline for approval is still looking like next week, but all depends on how fast the SEC can read through comments and amendments made today. So again, it's going to take some time. Hopefully it gets done. We get that announcement next week. But the fact that it's happening, for most of us long-term investors, whether it's Bitcoin or the crypto market at large, you just want that first one through the door, and the rest will come ripping and gunning shortly thereafter. Best believe that. Now, this is a good indicator. We see VanEck. They're pledging 5% of their spot Bitcoin ETF profits to go to core developers after the SEC approval. This is important for everyone to contribute and think about the overall ecosystem, not just the profits you can strip away, but how do we build a more successful crypto ecosystem over time. VanEck is taking this seriously. They're here for the long run, and they want to ensure that we have enough funding going to Bitcoin core development, and that's good to see. Hopefully more follow suit. Bitcoin ETF fees are going to play a critical role here, and take a look at this. If you're going to be investing in these products in your brokerage accounts or your retirement accounts or whatever it is, what are the fees being charged? How much are the custodians going to be charging you for this ETF? And so far, only 6 Bitcoin ETF issuers have revealed what the charges will be. Again, that's one of the last minute changes. You got to tell the market what you're going to charge here. So they'll have to finalize that out. But currently, Fidelity is the cheapest, and that makes a lot of sense. Why? Because Fidelity, they're doing their own custody here. They're holding the Bitcoin themselves. They've been building up this infrastructure over time. Where BlackRock and almost every other ETF issuer, well, they're using Coinbase. They have to pay Coinbase fees. Leaves less money for them to make his profit. So again, I would expect once it's all said and done, Fidelity probably will have the cheapest fees out there, probably be one of the more popular products. Now, we know BlackRock's going to have a lot of investors in this. It won't just be only fees. Of course, what platforms are you on and who are you investing with and who does your advisor use? But Fidelity's going to be a leader here, and that's really about their long-term investment in this space. And they've been building out this infrastructure, and they've taken it serious for a long time. And that's why today they can really offer the best product because they put the work in over the long term, and they probably will have the lowest fees overall. Spot Bitcoin ETF capital. Could funds potentially buy all Bitcoin in circulation? I've heard a lot of fear centering around this. Well, what if BlackRock buys all the Bitcoin? And it just won't work like that. There will always be a price someone's willing to sell, and more will come onto the market. Plus, we have miners dumping more. You would not be able to go out here and acquire all the Bitcoin or all the Tesla stock, or the price will just start going up, and it just won't be a realistic thing to happen. It's just not possible. So calm your fears here. BlackRock or no one else is going to be able to buy any particular crypto. And even if you could, why would you want to hold all of it? That's just not going to be a healthy market. If you held all the Bitcoin in the world, it just wouldn't be a good thing. And of course, at some point, you'd want to sell it. Thus, you wouldn't hold all of it anymore. So don't worry about that. Now, most people think this thing's going to be approved and crypto is just going to rip up some, moon run of our dreams. Arthur Hayes foresees a 30% Bitcoin crash, and really, we'd see a crypto market crash sometime early this year. And his fears here are really centered around looming risks in the U.S. banking sector, and I've talked about that. These are the areas that I'm worried most about, is banking and commercial real estate. If we have any stress in those areas to start off this year, it could cause a lot of turmoil. And he sees, somewhere around March, we're going to get a liquidity rug pull event, kind of similar to the banking crisis we saw last March. And remember this, they're cutting interest rates. They're not doing that to make our lives easier. There's significant problems out there, and you have to be aware of them. And he says, I am preparing for a vicious washout of all the crypto tourists in March of this year. Am I going to sell my crypto and wait for Arthur Hayes' vicious crypto washout? Heck no. Not doing anything like that, but be aware. Don't listen to the people that say, hey, once this is approved, or, they're showing you charts that we have to go straight to the moon. It don't have to work like that. From here and where we want to go, there can be many vicious crashes, and you just have to be prepared and built for bear. And we know eventually where we go, but the path can be quite vicious. So just be ready for that. Anything can happen here in the coming months, that's for sure. I really believe that the next area we're going to see regulators and government go after is self-hosted wallets. They don't want you to be able to hold your own value, transact with whoever you want. Of course, they want to control that. Yeah, they're fine if BlackRock holds your Bitcoin or holds your Ethereum or XRP, but they don't want you holding it directly. So look for them to attack, wallet software companies, especially your big ones, your ledgers, your Trezors. Of course, they're going to want to be able to freeze funds and confiscate funds. And so this is a big fight here on the horizon. We see they're calling in this article for Congress to address this and really to outlaw anything where you could attack people's rights to self-custody. Now, know this, as crypto enthusiasts, we'll have our tools. We will be able to self-custody and use crypto for its intended purpose and really continue to build out that value. That's not a problem, but this should be available to the masses, to everyone, and I think that's really more what they're worried about. They don't want your everyday Joe being able to, transact and hold their value and not be able to, crack into those wallets and take their value away at will. We know how governments like to act. To me, that's the next big one here that they're going to go after, and we will have to fight about. We'll have to go to court, run through the same things, just like we did with Ripple or Coinbase is going through right now. It's not going to be any different. Self-hosted wallets is the next battle line. Be ready for that. Typically I'd say this ain't going to happen. Crypto Eddie put out this tweet calling on John Deaton to unseat Elizabeth Warren for her seat there. And she's so awful, and we always wonder, why can't anyone challenge her? Anyway, Brad Garlinghouse also retweeted that. He liked the idea. I generally say, first of all, no one's unseating her. This is just the way politics work. Of course, and John Deaton, he's an attorney. He's not a politician. But I'll tell you this. After seeing John for years, I wouldn't take it away from him. Maybe he would be able to be a successful politician. He sure came up and out of nowhere became one of the most prominent legal minds within cryptocurrencies today. The guy knows his stuff, was able to jump into this Ripple court case, the case of the century, and play a very vital role. So could he jump into politics here? Heck yeah, I think he could do it. And I hope that he does, whether he goes up against Elizabeth Warren or we could use a thinker like John Deaton anywhere within politics. I would love to support that. And I know a lot of you would support his campaign as well. So let's get behind this. Maybe we can kind of push him towards that. It'd be great to see John Deaton jump into politics. We see Vet posting the following: the XRP ledger is ideal for central banks. And I think really anyone out there, whether you're a business, you're a bank in general, or a central bank. And the reason what he's saying here, what they're building, is side chains can add just about any feature you like with just an update, and you have to maintain interoperability with the XRP ledger. What does this mean? Well, we know banks want privacy. They don't want all of their dirty deeds out on the blockchain for the whole public to see. Well, they can build a side chain where they have privacy, where they have full control of everything that happens on that blockchain. But when they need to settle out transactions, when they need to send a payment to someone else, when they need to do things in a trustless manner, well, they got the XRP ledger on the side ready to rock and roll, and they can do so. And that's a very powerful ecosystem to build out, because it gives banks and businesses and everyone else the ability to do what they want on their own ledgers, whatever rules they want. But it's easy to tap into that XRP ledger because you need that crypto asset, that immutable asset that no one controls, no one can debase, where you can trade with anyone, even people you don't trust, and know that you are settling in real time. That's what's important, and I agree with that. They're building a really robust system out here that I think will be attractive to a lot of different people, including central banks. Bill Morgan saying there's no doubt the price of XRP has been suppressed. It's barely rational to think otherwise. Here's what my thinking on this. It's still a very high value cryptocurrency. It doesn't seem like it because there's so many XRPs and it's 59 cents, 60 cents, but really it's quite valuable. Now, was its value hurt during the last bull run because Ripple was sued and you couldn't trade it? Yeah, of course it was. And when you're past the bull run, the time when investment dollars flow in and people are really investing, if you fix that problem, you can't tell everyone, all right, XRP's fixed now, let's go ahead and invest. Like, it's not that time. The money's not flowing in. It's not going to flow to you now just because you fixed your problems. You're going to have to wait to the next bull run. So, of course, XRP's price was harmed. I like that word better. But I think to say it's suppressed isn't quite accurate. Again, it had some real problems that have been cleared up. Bitcoin and Ethereum have had a lot of success that I think really should have a higher value at this point in time. But I believe we can catch up and really start building on the success that we've had and the legal clarity and all of that. But it doesn't happen overnight. You have to go out there and do it now. And I think we'll see that for reasons like we saw from VanEck, that they're building out this really cool ecosystem and people are going to use it. And now it's clear XRP is not a security. You don't have to worry about that. We can have success, but I think people think, well, we didn't jump straight to $2, $3, $4, so someone must, have their boot on our throat. I don't see it like that. I think, again, we've got by those problems. This now allows us to go out there and build that value, but you have to do so, and you have to be in an environment where that investment capital is flowing into the market to see that massive growth. XRP is a large cap crypto, and it takes a lot to push that price up. But still, when times are good, we see it runs quite wild. Even during the last bull run, when you couldn't trade in the US on those major exchanges, it still ran quite fast and furious. It's going to do just fine. No one's holding us down. We are going to have success. That's my main point. All right, Solana. Are we going to see this massive price surge? And I've said before, I don't like Solana, but I don't doubt it will do very well as an investment. Look, a lot of things will do good. In Solana, I think its best proposition going forward is likely, I clicked on the stupid ad, is likely is an Ethereum layer 2 sidechain. That's where I see it kind of having success if it ultimately does succeed. And that could be a lot. You could have a lot of transactions there. It could build a lot of value. Great. We see Raul Paul suggesting that Sol could surpass Ethereum this time around. The likelihood that Solana has a bigger market cap, is more valuable than Ethereum, is almost nothing. It's almost as close to zero as you could get. Doesn't mean that it can't have a better growth percentage. It can't go up quite a bit. But is it going to be the number one layer 1 smart contract blockchain in the world? I highly doubt it. I don't even believe at the end of the day it will be number 2. That's not saying it won't do well, won't get you returns. I just don't see any sort of universe where Solana can overtake Ethereum in any sort of way. And again, I don't believe it'll even be the number 2, once it's all said and done, the number 2 layer 1 smart contract blockchain. Lastly here, when we're looking at this, well, the increase of Ethereum network, will it fuel a price surge? Ethereum network activity is up 17.5%. New addresses being started, potentially signaling a bullish price trend. Over the long run, yes, but this is what I think you need to really read into this. Not only will Ethereum go up in price, of course, but what's going to happen, this blockchain is going to lock up, and it's going to be almost unusable unless you're doing huge transactions and you're willing to wait a really long time and pay those massive fees. And so what will happen as the Ethereum network activity really starts going up big time, like we will see in the next bull run, you're also going to see a lot of stuff spilling off onto other blockchains. Other blockchains that can give you the same smart contract capabilities that Ethereum can, but a lot faster and a lot cheaper. And we saw that last time around when yield farming was really starting to rage early on in that 2021 bull run. And what were people doing? Well, they were looking to Binance. What is going to be the Binance, farming opportunity? And really, the great opportunity was a Binance coin. It went up quite a bit during that bull run because a lot of that activity spilled over. Most of you out there probably experienced that. You wanted to do something, you couldn't do it on Ethereum, not reasonably at least. So you probably used Binance during the last run to do different things. I think we'll see the same thing this time around, but there's a lot of blockchains that are ready for the prime time. Now, Solana will be one of them, of course. Cardano is ready. It's fully functional, has a robust ecosystem. I think it will do very well. Polkadot's up and running. You can go on down the list. There are some really exciting layer 1 smart contract blockchains out there. But, when you see a lot of activity going on Ethereum and you see those network fees going up and you see those times taking even longer, it's not only a good indicator for Ethereum, but also for the broader crypto market, because you're going to see a lot that step up and fill that void and let you transact reasonably and in really a cheap manner. Actually, this is the last story. US SEC seeks to leverage Terraform win over Coinbase, and this one scares me a little bit. We had that massive Ripple victory, we had the big Grayscale victory, and it seems like the SEC couldn't be touched, but then they went over this Terra lawsuit, and Judge Ratcliffe, he had very scary the way his ruling read, where he said, well, the UST token and the Luna token, you could stake them and earn yield, and therefore that made it a security. And so this has given the SEC new life in their lawsuit versus Coinbase and Binance for the security stuff that Binance was on the hook for. And also, I think it gives them a little wiggle room to possibly attack another crypto asset. Because most crypto assets out there have staking and yield generation. Would this apply directly on those ecosystems? Probably not. But they could cause a lot of havoc and destruction out there if they decide to go that route. So we got to keep an eye on this. Does this give Gary new life? And does he try to weaponize this ruling? We know he's going to use it in his open, court cases with Coinbase and Binance, but will he now have the confidence to expand and go after more crypto out there, more crypto projects based on that ruling that, hey, there's staking, there's yield generation, and somehow that makes the asset itself, a security? I don't know. We can we can deposit dollars and earn yield off of them, and that doesn't make a dollar a security. There's different examples like this. I don't really understand the reasoning, but in general, it could be problematic if courts look at things in this way. Now, what this article says is, look, this doesn't make the Ripple win and the Grayscale win null and void. Like, those are still correct rulings, and they kind of go with what Judge Ratcliffe said. But this is just further building out how courts are going to look at the overall crypto space. And one of the questions there again is staking and yield generation. Might they look at that and see that's some sort of security offering? I don't know. I sure hope not. Let me know what you think down below. And as always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.